Hi.
How are you?
Doing great. How about you guys? Gals?
Pretty good.
Good.
Nice. What's up?
Early impressions of Berkeley Edwards?
Berkeley, I love working with him. He's a really, really conscientious guy, tries to do everything exactly right, and is just working hard to find, what his role is going to be, working his tail off on special teams, really fast, and he's really tough, so he's been fun to work with.
How have the two true freshmen acclimated?
Talking about the running backs?
Yeah, Haskins and Christian Turner.
Those guys, including Van Sumeren, all doing a great job. They're really, they're like the rest of the group in the sense that they kind of just earnest, hardworking, don't talk a lot, really just love to play and really try to do everything right and follow the example of the older guys. So those guys are off to a good start.
Jay, a lot of potential with Chris and Karan there as far as duo is concerned. What do you like best about them? What have you seen most out of Chris in terms of growth? What have you seen most out of Karan in terms of growth?
They're a great duo. I would say in terms of the best thing about both of them is just the consistency day in and day out. They both bring it in terms of meetings, in terms of the lifts and practice. So their actions are truly in line with the goals that they have for themselves, the goals that we have as a team. That consistency of an approach is pretty special, and all the other guys feed off that. So I'd have to say for those two guys, it's just a day in and day out.
You notice difference in pass protection with those two? I mean, have they gotten better? Have they shown improvement?
Certainly. Both have improved, working in conjunction with the O-line to really make sure our quarterbacks feel confident and can play fast and step into throws and not be concerned about their backside or internal pressure. So overall, we've seen a big jump forward for that whole group.
From a coaching perspective, I mean, with Karan, he's got the low center of gravity. You guys talked about his burst a lot. Chris can play in space, pretty athletic. I mean, how much does that excite you to, that you have those two type of guys in your backfield?
It's really exciting. It's exciting every single time those guys touch it. It's fun to watch the things that they do, and then the difference between last year and this year, just the different type of cuts they can make, even being a little bit bigger is pretty impressive. That's one thing that's definitely stood out to me is across the board, these guys carrying more weight, more muscle, and they look faster. Even the skill guys, the big guys, it looks like an explosive team, and just who have more mass on them. So it's a really good thing.
Karan spoke in Chicago about if he had hit 1,000, he may have bolted. How much conversation did you have about the decision in keeping him here?
None, which probably seems unbelievable, but Karan's a guy of strong convictions, and he knows what he wants, and he knew he wanted to come back, and even before that, during the season last year, he didn't have any interest in discussing it, any interest in exploring it. He was really focused on the task at hand and felt strongly that if he had kind of entertained that or thought through scenarios and talked through them with other people, that it might distract from what we were trying to do.
Do you see him a little more motivated because of, this is his last go-around and that he wants to prove something?
I would say yeah, except that he's so highly motivated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terribly different from last year or the year before that. But that's just who he is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, you're definitely getting a really highly motivated guy. I think the only difference is being a senior presence and a leader that other guys look to more. Maybe there's a little bit more vocal aspect to it.
How much are Chris and Karan helping you as a coach at this point?
Well, they're really good, so
yeah, I know.
that's the helpful part. In terms of the young guys, I didn't mean to be sarcastic about that. They're able to take the young guys under their wing because they've accumulated a ton of knowledge and really have expanded their football knowledge. So they're able to coach on the field and take ownership of the young guys' development, give them a tip here, a trick. Hey, this is one thing that helps me remember this, or this is a good way to work on this skill. So that's been helpful. And the fullbacks have done the same thing with Ben Van Sumeren as well.
Have you seen Omari Samuels take a step forward from last year?
Definitely have. Really excited about him right now. He's improved a bunch of different areas. He's playing as fast as he ever has, and he's a really fast guy. So when he gets closer and closer to playing at that full speed, which is smoking fast, it's going to be going to be scary, and he's definitely on that track right now.
Is he 100% healthy?
Yes.
Is True Wilson still number 3 at this point, or what's number 3 spot look like?
3 spots still a competition. True is definitely in that mix and is certainly, as of right now, doing a lot of great things to vouch for himself in that spot.
What are you looking for that 3 spot? Is it like a type of runner? Because I think Karan and Chris could probably take number 1. They could handle a lot of carries. Is there a certain type of player that you're looking for the number 3?
That's a really good question. There's a lot of different ways to approach that, and it's really a role, right? So Chris and Karan are both starting running backs. It's a 1-1 punch, and not many teams have that. The third job, I mean, you want to have a guy who's really reliable, that God forbid something happened, you have another guy ready to roll that can do everything. Now, the other way to look at it is that you could have a protection guy who, hey man, this guy's really exceptional at this, and he can play a protection role, or maybe a guy is exceptional as a route runner or whatever. So there's different niches that you can have as long as you're on the travel roster to play in the backfield. But really overall, when you talk about the 3rd spot, you're looking for the next best all-around guy.
Has Ben been doing anything on defense, or has he been working exclusively with the offense?
Mason or Van Tumeren?
Mason.
Ben Mason, at this point, is mostly offense, and we'll look into the defensive stuff a little bit more soon.
Is Jared Wangler your number 2 fullback, or where does he fit?
Those guys are duking it out to be the starter. They're both playing at a high level right now, and just love the start to camp that they both had, and they're super hungry and motivated and feeding off each other in a really positive way.
Jim, when you look back at past pro issues you guys had last year, what did you guys try to do in the offseason to, was there any one thing you tried to fix, simplify something, or do something different, or was it more of let's hammer the same, try to get better in that sense?
Are you asking about
with your guys?
Protection, okay, in general, or just with the running backs?
With your guys in their piece in the whole pie again.
Got it, yeah. I think some of the changes overall, scheme-wise, have helped the whole group in terms of simplifying and making sure that we're on the same page. Obviously, a guy knowing what to do is paramount in terms of getting the job done. So that's been helpful. And then guys adding mass to their bodies, adding strength, and improving flexibility has been helpful too. Just being more confident, being confident in their technique. And then just more reps, taking advantage of spring ball and training camp, getting hundreds and probably thousands of reps at certain things. You build proficiency and trust in what you're doing. So all those things combined are going to leave us really happy with where we're at this fall.
How does having a few new coaches impact this camp on offense, and just how do you build a rapport with them in meeting rooms?
The rapport part is pretty much done, just because we spent so much time together from when all those guys got here to now. It's fun to work with those guys. In terms of the first part of the question, I would say, it's fun. It's a little bit different. Certain guys might have a unique solution to a problem because of something they did in their past, and so there's a little bit more creativity. And when all those things come together, when we're working at a high level together, you end up being able to address problems a little bit quicker and find things that fit what we do.
Jay, Jim was saying, excuse me, that call it kind of like a perfect collaboration. Or I asked him about, because there has been turnover on the offensive side. I mean, defense coaches seem to be pretty much the same. Couple changes over the past few years, but offensive, there's yearly turnover. He called it this year like a great collaboration. I guess how would you assess with McElwain here, Ed Warner here, how would you assess how everything's coming together?
I wouldn't disagree with him at all. I think the collaboration's been fantastic. It's a lot of guys who are really proficient in a certain area of offense, or have called plays before and had a ton of success. I think collaboration is a great way to put it. It's like a musical band. You got a good bassist, you got a good drummer, you got a good guitarist, you got the lead vocals, maybe backup vocals. We got a lot of guys on offense, so it's a pretty extensive band. But everyone's got to do their part and not expand beyond their part. And when you do that, and everyone's kind of in harmony, you get a really good final result. So I think Coach is dead on with that assessment.
Guys, we have time for 2 more questions.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There's not an offensive coordinator that's specifically labeled at this point, correct? Is that going to be the case this season?
That would be a question for the head coach or Dave Abloff.
What difference has your strength and conditioning coach made this year for you guys?
Huge difference, and we felt that from really the beginning when those guys got here in the winter until now. Just in terms of the way the guys carry themselves, their confidence, the collective accountability for the whole team, as well as the individual units beneath it. And then when you look at, okay, taking that to spring ball and to fall camp, you see a more explosive team, a faster team, and a stronger team that's playing confident. So we're really excited to see how it looks in the fall.
Outside of the backs, what's impressed you or surprised you about the offense so far this fall?
I mean, to say you're surprised,
Sure.
I don't know what would come to mind. The freshmen have been great, and just in terms of their just how willing they are and how tough they are, and they just want to get in and make something happen. They're not scared to make mistakes. Just the overall competitiveness has been pretty cool, and then to see to go toe to toe with our defense, who's tremendous, and see them, deal with the occasional bad play or a bad period, and maintain that enthusiasm and regroup and come back. That mental resiliency has been really nice, because in games in the fall there's going to be situations where things don't go your way. So seeing that togetherness now early is really nice, knowing that we have a few more weeks to even improve it more.
It's not your position, but do you see a difference from Shea from spring practice, just in terms of knowing the offense, knowing the people he's around?
Certainly, yeah. You could tell that he put in the work May, June, July until now. He definitely has improved his command of things, his understanding of where his different outlets are for the ball, formations, run game, all that stuff. And the same can be said for all the other quarterbacks too.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.